Hello, and welcome to your Q&A call, ladies. Just renaming myself. Everyone's just popping on. There we go. All right. So happy to see your beautiful shining faces this morning. We're going to give you lots of time to get your questions answered and get some more customized coaching in. That is the focus for always for the Q&A calls. We're also going to give you a little bit of training, and I'm here with you this week as Sage is with her mentor, Jeff Walker, getting some more juicy details to be able to bring back to you. And I know many of you are figuring out your online launches and getting ready for creating your online launches. That is our theme for this month. So we're going to dive into a little bit more around the handouts that we've given you for that. And let me just pull this up. All right. So I just want to start off with, as a few people are popping on here, about why I love online marketing and a little bit about my experience with online marketing, because I know we've had a lot of questions on the Facebook page. Some of you are really excited about it. Some of you are newer to online marketing. And my experience is, or was at least, that it was kind of overwhelming at first. It seemed like there was a lot of things to learn, a lot of details, and a lot of technology, which was definitely not what I considered my strength. I don't know how many of you are in that same boat. You feel like technology is not really where you want to be spending all your time. Yeah, so ultimately you want to get yourself to the point that you'll be able to have people that are supporting you with the technology. But I know at first it can feel a little overwhelming. So this is why it's so important to be able to create systems that will generate potential clients even when you're not there. That's my favorite thing about online marketing, is that you can do amazing talks in person and they require you to show up and be there and be present in the room with people, which is, as we know, a really big way to get more engagement and to get faster cash if that's what you're needing. And some of you are at a place where you're wanting to build out more of your online experience so that you could be away on vacation or you could be sleeping and people could be messaging and connecting and listening to things that you've already recorded. So one of those major ways that we really encourage you to get engaged online is having a Facebook group and doing Facebook Lives regularly. And some of the women in this group have really done that in a beautiful way. Robin Nielsen, Sophia Tom, Marcella McBride, they're, just to name a few, have all created strong Facebook groups and started to really magnetize clients through Facebook Lives. So you could be watching what they're doing. Many of you have seen or even come into connection with Women Rocking Business through Sage's consistent Facebook Lives. And I know for me, that was a major way I grew my business, was through Facebook Live, because it's the next best thing to being in person with people. And I know that's why it can feel scary too, because they're hearing you, they're seeing you, and you can feel like you need to have it all perfect. And really, that's not what they're waiting for. They're just wanting to feel you and know you. And you've got to give them a way to have that experience without needing to buy something first. So it's just another form of a lead magnet, doing a Facebook Live. And today is about going deeper into understanding the things you can do with online funnels to get your questions fleshed out, and also really get you continuing to deepen into your sense of confidence, to just experiment with online marketing, experiment with your funnels, that this is not about already knowing the way. So that's a little bit of overview of what we're going to be up to. And I also want to just get you the announcements right at the beginning here so that everybody hears them. So we've got 3 announcements. Okay. So one thing is we've got a couple important date changes. And because we're launching our first fall live event that's going to be in San Diego, which we've got more information coming for you about that, especially next week, we needed to move a couple calls in September. So your Q&A calls are going to be moved, and you'll see this reflected in your calendar tab. And it's going to be the September 10th Q&A call. So if you already have that in your calendar, you just cross that off. September 10th Q&A call won't be happening anymore because we're all going to be at the event. And we're going to move it to September 17th. And then on September 18th will be the the September 18th mastermind call is going to have a new date to be announced. So we don't have a date for that yet. We're just finalizing, but we just wanted to make sure you knew your leverage call is going to be on September 17th. And then September 18th, we're going to have the bonus Q&A all access call with me. So you'll have those 2 the week of for the 17th and 18th. And all of these things, any changes that are made to dates, that can always be found in your calendar tab. So just check that out. And July retreat reminders. So we have added more room blocks. We needed some more rooms, so we got them for you. If you haven't gotten to book your room yet, the rates with us are good till June 22nd. So they have reduced rates under our room block. So you'll see all the information under the events tab on your forum, and you can just call the 1440 directly. So all that information is going to be under your event tab. And we did send you an email if you're missing the RSVP. So if you didn't RSVP yes or no, you've got an email. So we're just waiting for that from you. All right, the other announcement I'm going to wait on a little bit because it's more of a fun game that we're going to play. So that's coming towards the end of the call. But I want to talk about the goal for this month because it's important to have something that is your overall goal, your intention each month in the program. And just ask that if you haven't muted yourself, if you're popping on, just go ahead and mute yourself so we have a clean recording line. And thank you. And the goal for this month is going to be to get at least 1 funnel up with a lead magnet leading to something. So that means that you're guiding people to take an action, calling them to action, and it could be to join a Facebook group. So that would be a lead magnet, to invite people to join a Facebook group. It could be that you're inviting people to join a webinar or a Facebook Live series. So that's just going to plant some seeds in your head to think about what you might want to do. But that's a goal for this month, that each of you has at least 1 funnel up with a lead magnet leading to something. And if you already have, for most of you, you're already going to have some kind of a lead magnet up, and you might have another one that you're knowing that you're wanting to work on. Some of you have events coming up. I've been talking to a few of you, and you're planning events, and you've been putting off actually having those ticket sales up or the landing page live for that. So that could be an action for you this month to get those pieces in place. And I know one of the challenges that I have experienced myself, and still, even to this month, I found I was doing the same thing, that I can plan something, I can put it on the calendar and say, yeah, I'm going to do this speaking engagement. And then life just gets rolling, and I find that I did not market it the way I wanted to or enough. And I noticed that even this month, as I was planning one, I was feeling, if it's for this week, that I was feeling like, gosh, how does this happen again? That even when I know the systems, even when I know what I'm supposed to do, that I don't do it. And so I just wanted to speak to that, honestly, that we're all busy, and it's never going to be a good time to add something in like that, where you're adding in marketing for a speaking engagement, marketing for a Facebook Live series, marketing for a webinar. But the truth is, all the work that you could do preparing for it, organizing your talk, practicing what your offer is going to be, deciding what the title is going to be. What does your flyer look like? All of these pieces won't matter if you don't have people actually showing up, either virtually or in person. And so that's why it's so important to get the lead magnets going, to start building your list and building your community so that you have people to show up for your events. And definitely one of the easiest ways to do that is through a private Facebook group. And the main reason is because people are going to be seeing those posts and notifications. They'll come up in their feed when you post in a private Facebook group. That's different when you just post on your personal page or your business page. Not everybody is seeing those pieces. So if you don't yet have a private Facebook group, we want to make sure that you're considering that as part of your marketing, and you can ask questions about that today as well. So I would love to get a few celebrations from those of you who want to share what celebration. Okay, I'm going to open up see the raised hands. Yes, Audrey, I'm going to unmute you. Audrey. There you go. You're unmuted.
I have a celebration, but my raised hand was for a question.
Question. Okay.
I have a celebration, and which is
a celebration, and then we'll come back around for question.
Okay. I created my very first emotional moment for me. I created my very first program online, and that's ridiculous. That's absurd. And it's intense, and it's intense and unbelievable.
I can feel your emotion and just how much it means to you to have created your first online program. And can you tell us what it's called?
Oh yeah, but I don't want to retract from my question, okay?
No. We'll get to the question.
Become an icon. Make your first million in your first year.
Hot.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your celebration.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I'm going to come back around to your question, so I'm going to keep your hand raised.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So just right now for celebrations, and I know, Robin, you had your hand raised too, but I think it's for questions. I'm going to hold off on that. Kira, I'm going to unmute you. Oh. I think it's not letting me. You've got to unmute it from your side. There you go.
Did it.
Hello.
I am celebrating. Just before our call today, I had a successful grow conversation, and I signed a private client for $300 more per month than the last private client that I signed. So I am celebrating owning my value and preparing to shift my old prices into a group program.
Oh, yes. Congratulations. Up-leveling your prices and shifting more from private to group work. Congratulations. You are leveraging yourself. Yes. Beautiful. And we'll unmute for full cheering after we hear a few. Thank you for sharing. And let's see, another hand, Cynthia. It's not letting me unmute you. Okay, there we go.
It's just going like trying to control it. Since the Women Rocking.
Hey, Sarah, I need the specific length for the 5.
There we go. Okay, sorry, Cynthia, go for it.
Since Women Rocking Business, my business partner, Michelle Bradshaw, and I decided to create a group program, and with the methods that we've been creating, we are now teaching the Magic Mind Method certification program. So we got inspired, we created it, we started our first group. We've given our first 3-day workshop. It's a year-long program. And now we're ready to launch our September group. And I'm like super excited to be creating the marketing funnel for that. So it's such a win that this is totally going. It feels like downstream marketing. I didn't understand what Sage meant. Downstream marketing until we set this program together. And I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, tell me more. And I'm like, this is downstream marketing. So I'm very
so good. I love it. Getting a lived experience of downstream marketing. Yes.
What's the name of your program?
It's the Magic Mind Method Certification Program. And we help people become certified as coaches to turn people's adversities into advantages.
Hot. Awesome. And one thing we know for sure is that certifications are really popular. So people love being able to enroll in something that's going to give them a certification. And that, I'm sure, has made a difference in in the flow and the downstream nature of your funnel as well.
Very true.
Yes. So good. Thank you, Cynthia. All right. I'm going to take a couple more celebrations. Yamaya. Just need to unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I survived my very first 3 days Facebook Live masterclass. I just
Yes, just what we're talking about.
Oh my God. And the first day I had issues with Zoom and Facebook, there's a delay between both. And it threw me off. I don't think people saw it, but I didn't feel good about it. And I was like, I never want to do that again. And of course I had to show up for the second day and it went really well, and then by the third day I was like, oh, okay, piece of cake. I got that. So it felt good. And I have some good content, but it was long. It was 90 minutes each time, which I feel is too long for now.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely seen success with people doing those kind of intensive trainings on Facebook Lives, but it's also great when you're just beginning, especially when you're committing to something like a first day and it's not necessarily going great with technology. If you've committed to 90 minutes, that can feel rough.
No.
Yeah.
And, I didn't get that much engagements. I was hoping for more engagement, but I feel like now I have content. And I have a few people to follow up with. So, I don't know if you're going to address that, this week or next week, but it's like the best way to follow up maybe with people from those Facebook Live funnel.
Yes, I'll make a note. Great. Congratulations. And yes, what I hear you really got from this one, a big takeaway, was being able to not only have the content that you can use again in the future, but the confidence to be able to do it again and again. Yeah. Going from feeling like you never want to do it again on day one to, this is a piece of cake on day 3 is huge.
Good.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So good. And can you share for everybody that hasn't done a Facebook Live yet or a challenge yet, what your biggest learning is that you would have wanted to know in advance?
Well, just that little piece of technology that it seems like there is always like a 30-second delay between the Zoom and the Facebook Live, and that I was going to have to deal with both screens, I guess, we did some tests. I did a couple of tests before, but it just felt kind of clunky.
Got it. So I can give you a couple tips on that piece. So it's true that there is a little bit of a delay. Of course, that's just normal between the Facebook or the Zoom to Facebook Live. So one thing you could do is if you're going live, just you, and you don't have anybody else with you, going direct onto Facebook Live, you'll be able to just be in real time and then answering people's questions as they pop up. I think there's still a little bit of a delay though, even with the Facebook Live. It's like a slight lag there. It's not perfect. But if you're doing interviews or you're with somebody else and doing the Zoom, then that's going to be important to have, or easier at least, to have it through Zoom. And in that case, if you're asking people for comments and questions and things like that, have it be a section where you're opening it up to questions, and then you have something more that you can teach, have a little segment that you can dive into and say, I'm going to open it up. I want to hear your questions below. I have one more thing that I want to offer you, but go ahead and post your questions now. And then you can be teaching and then look at, and then say, I'm just going to pop over and look at your questions. You don't have to look at both screens the whole time. it could be really distracting to look at both rather than just directly onto the Zoom screen.
And I think, you know, the other thing that I learned from asking on our group, you know, to other sisters that had the experience also is next time I will ask for people to register. You know, this time I didn't, because I was like, okay, let's just like skip us, you know, so that's easier. They don't have to have that extra step.
Yeah.
But apparently the registration seems to be working really well for a lot of people. And then, you know, there is an easier follow through as well with, you know, emails and all of that. So I'll do that next time.
Yes. Okay, great. Beautiful. Congratulations. And I know we've got 2 more people to share, and then we're going to move on into some questions, and I'm going to do some teaching around spiral marketing and your online funnels as well. So we've got Tracy and Merritt. Let's go with Tracy first. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thanks, Megan.
Yes. Hi, Tracy.
Hi. So first, I'm starting to feel so much more comfortable in my micro niche, and my lead magnet is coming together for that, which is a sign to me that it's working, that I'm feeling good about it, and I can move forward with that. I'm going to post about some ideas for titles for that soon. Yeah, and then the other big thing is I've got 16 days left at my job. So I'm very, very, very excited about that.
16-day countdown.
I'm counting down. I need to keep celebrating that and not being in the excited space and not the like fearful place. So
yes, yeah, being the excitement of your choice.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the liberation and getting to have more time for creativity and building my business. So
congratulations. Yeah, that's huge. Congratulations, Tracy. All right, last one for celebration for right now. Merritt.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, I want to celebrate that my dear sister Yvonne is here with Germany. And the second thing is today we produced my video so I can catch up with all the tasks in the Leverage program, and she was a wonderful help.
Well, you're great.
Thank you. Yeah, my program is called Greatness. And I started last week, I started the second round of my program. So the week before I finished my first program, and I had 7 people who walked out with a certificate. Yeah, now I'm starting the next round, and I'm very thankful, grateful for that.
Congratulations. So huge, and love the sisterhood support too. Beautiful. Yay. And let's all unmute ourselves. And if you want some of what you've just heard, say woo, woo, woo. And then say, you can have it, and so can I.
You can have it, and so can I. So can I.
Yes, I love hearing that. Imagine if that's what we had learned, right? You know, in school, if that was what was taught, if it wasn't just this competition of like, well, she got this and now there's less for everyone, or only one person can win. Instead, shifting to she can have it and so can I. And that is the culture that we're creating together here. And now we're moving into some questions. I also want to do a little bit of teaching around spiral marketing. And so I'm thinking, let me just see here. I want to speak to this for a couple minutes because it might also support some of your questions. And then we'll move into questions, and I'll go back to you, Audrey, first. All right. So we have in your handouts for this month, and just mute yourself if you haven't yet from our woohooing, just looking at your handouts for this month, you'll see that there's lots of support there for you. One of them is a little bit around spiral marketing. We're going to be going into this a lot more in the fall. So we just want to touch on this because whenever you're creating something, and especially in terms of you're creating a funnel, you want to make sure that you're solving a new problem with each piece of your client funnel. So for an example, if you offer a free opt-in for a checklist, then a lead magnet checklist to find your soulmate, for instance, could lead to a conscious dating Facebook group. And then from the Facebook group, you could be inviting people to your either online or live in-person trainings, which are then relating to, first of all, it's a, find your soulmate, and then conscious dating Facebook group. And then it could be, you're creating conscious dating, like mingle events, like find your soulmate events. That's going to draw in the right kind of clients, but they're at different stages. So they're moving through those stages. And you want to ask, how can you position your marketing so that every step of the client funnel is solving a new problem? So that's something to write down as you're looking at creating your online marketing this month, is how are you solving a new problem at every step of the funnel? So we'll be going a lot more into this more towards the fall, but wanted to make sure that you at least have some of it. And I think actually, I'm going to pull up the handout for a moment here, just so that it's really clear, so you get to see example. Sharing. Okay. So the handout says at the top, leverage, checkpoint. It's just spiral marketing. So leverage, checkpoint, and spiral marketing. And this gives you a few ideas for creating your funnels. So first step, hosting a couple, whoops, it's scrolling forward fast, hosting 3 to 6 local speaking engagements or meetups. And then from there, selling 6 to 8 private packages to clients so that you know your system works. So if you haven't yet done that piece and you're trying to jump ahead to the group work, what we recommend is that you have this in place at the beginning. So you're really clear that your system is working. And then you can look towards creating groups. So some of you are already at that stage. You've done this, you've been hosting speaking engagements, and now you're moving more towards your the group piece. So creating your potential client funnel, there's a few different ways that we give you ideas here. Social media, Facebook groups, like we've been talking about, doing Facebook Lives on your business page, having a meetup, getting to do webinars, video series, live events, telesummits. So lots of different choices for a step in your funnel. And then you're using this to generate discovery sessions. So all of these pieces are where you can offer your free discovery sessions as your next step. So if you're wondering, where's my next place to reach out? I need clients now. I needed them yesterday. Or I want more. These are all ideas for where you can keep reaching out to people. And then making paid offers from a webinar or from stage if you have a bigger list and you have a bigger reach. So some of you have been asking about making paid offers from stage, and we can definitely talk about that and answer your customized questions for your business on this call as well. So I welcome that if you're wondering about how to make your paid offers or questions around that. And when you're making paid offers, what we usually recommend is that you're in front of people for longer. So that's why it's something for a little later stage. So when we talk about having 2 or 3 day events, this is a great opportunity for making your paid offers. And otherwise, you can make lower price paid offers as a first step. And I know some of you are already making paid offers, and we've seen that on the Facebook page as well, that you're seeing people do it, making money from making paid offers, wondering why we're not necessarily talking about that as much. And this is just the strategy that Sage has seen work best, because it's not in the kind of model of I'm going to sell you something now, buy it now, it's going away forever. If you don't buy it now, you're not going to have happy life. Like we're not those kind of marketers. It's about opening up a conversation, opening up connection, creating that connection. And sometimes that means over time. And so even if you have a speaking engagement where you're in front of a group of people and you have that opportunity to make a paid offer, what we've seen when people kind of split test those opportunities is that if you make an offer where people can all say, type in numbers on their phone and they are going to get a free download, a next step, and then you get to nurture them and connect with them via email, that will lead often to more. So that would be the first thing. The other piece I would speak to is we also see people doing this really successfully online in terms of Facebook and in terms of Instagram too, through videos on Instagram and Insta stories, on Facebook and in the Facebook Lives, especially into groups where you're creating that relationship and people start to just want to know you. They want to be in your field. And it's not even about as much of what you offer and the title and all of those things as they're magnetized to you and they want to be at things that you're offering. So it's a way for people to get to know you. So there is some examples here. Getting a little spinning ball. Okay. Some examples of funnels. So here's a few leveraged funnels. So the first one, really simple, is a Facebook Live to list promotions, so to your mailing list, and having affiliate partners also sharing out your offering. So the affiliate partners could mail talking about a Facebook Live training that you're doing. It's easy for people to go over there and check it out. It's easy for people to say yes. And then from there, you're offering discovery sessions. So all three of those, a Facebook Live, and then your promotions to your own mailing list, and having affiliate partners mail out about your Facebook Live, lead to discovery sessions from that live training that you're doing. And then to a private or a group program. So this is a really simple launch. So for those of you who are feeling like, oh my gosh, there's so many choices, I feel overwhelmed, I would take a look at that one. And then number two, an online launch, having affiliate partners as well for that are going to mail out about your online offerings. You're posting on social media, you're doing Facebook promos. That might mean that you're boosting some posts or having some ads, and doing meetups and speaking engagements locally. These things could all lead towards a 1 to 3 day live event. So what we're recommending is that even if you're doing social media posts, you're doing Facebook Lives, you're having meetups, you're speaking at other people's speaking engagement opportunities, that all of these could lead to offering tickets for a live event. And if that's done well, then you could fill a group of 20 people to 100 people. And to really rock it out, Sage recommends combining these with number three, which is what I did when I have done my launches the past 3 years. I've combined plan 2 and 3, so I definitely can speak to that firsthand, that it works well having that combination. So all the social media marketing, the meetups and short speaking engagements, as well as the live event, and doing a webinar or a video series. And the video series can be a series of Facebook Live trainings that you offer. And then more people can be able to jump into discovery sessions from there that weren't able to attend your live event. So having those two strategies and two avenues for clients to come in is definitely helpful. And then we have some examples here. So I'm not going to go through them all because I want to just open up for your customized questions, but you'll see there's example funnels for spiral marketing and how to really, how to make it work. So that, I'm going to stop the share. That is a handout I definitely want to make sure you see, that you know is there. And just to be clear, when you're looking for handouts, you would look in your classes tab and you'll see that we're on the second class. So we're in June and we're in the online online funnels, online marketing tab, and all of your handouts for this month are in there. So checking those out after the call. And I see lots of hands raised. So I want to pop over to some questions right now. And I'll start with you, Audrey, because I promised I'd circle back. You, I think, need to unmute. There we go.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Great. So my question is, let me go back to the group because I don't like to look at myself when I'm asking a question. So my question, we are very aligned with this because my question was going to be exactly like, what are the main, like I have a well-oiled machine as like an entrepreneur creating for one-to-one. I'm serving one-to-one, okay? So now I want to serve one-to-many. So for me, my question would be, what are the specific ones, the specific basic essentials that I need to have in place? And you went through all of them, right? Mm-hmm. I would like to know specifically for me, what would be in your opinion, what would be the essentials? Like I'm just creating my course. I have an opt-in, and I'm booking talks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a Facebook group. What would be the bullet points very quickly?
Okay. Yeah, I would say it would really be definitely the Facebook group. First and foremost, you want to have free access for people to you. So that could be free videos that you're doing, like Facebook Live, free gifts, having the free like checklists or opt-ins for people. Those are definitely essential to build the relationship. And then it's consistency too. So sending out it, once you're building your list, sending out regular emails, doing weekly videos. If you have a Facebook group, doing regular posts into that group. It's going to be about not just looking for the new leads, but really loving up the ones that are coming to you and building that relationship. That's going to be the essential piece. And for talks, you want to also keep a list of, often people will respond on Meetup, for instance, and then not make it to a talk. And this is really common. And for many of you, you might just let that go. Like, oh, they weren't there for whatever reason. But keeping those kind of things, like tracking them on a spreadsheet, if you have their phone number, emails, whatever your means are, being able to contact them, let them know, oh, sorry, we missed you at this one. Here's our next date. Are you going to be able to join us? If you haven't joined us online, we've got a Facebook group. I'm going to be teaching free content in there. Go ahead and join as a way of building and making those connections. But that's why the Facebook group can work so well, because you have somewhere to always send people, whether they're local or whether they're virtual, anywhere in the world. They can all join in free to that group. So I would say that would be an essential piece. Do you have that in place already?
The Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
And one more thing I wanted to ask is that I just finished, as I said, my my course,
mm-hmm.
but it's a 6-month course, and it's a lot of material. So I'm wondering, I need to give them like, if I'm doing a 6-month course, for them to become to make their first 7 figures in their first year. Mm-hmm. I need to give them these tools, but it's a lot,
Yeah.
So
my thought is that ultimately, when you're offering something that's to be completed in a year, it's going to be a longer course than 6 months. And it's probably going to be at least a year. So not selling more than a year course at a time, but sometimes people will re-up and join next levels of a program. So I wonder about that for stretching your content more into a year container, because what we also have seen is that creates sustainable income, because then people are paying in payments and installments throughout the course of a year, and you have those steady clients. Once they come in, they're with you for the year. And the other side of it is you're just being real about what it's going to take. Because if you're not getting the results for clients, like they're joining the program, but then they're not actually experiencing the kind of results that they joined for, then that's not going to be great for your testimonials and being able to really grow that community of clients who are delighted with your services and spreading the word about them. And so my thought for your topic in particular is you're going to need at least a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I can spread more the content. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be the next thing, to look at how you can stretch those out.
And regarding where, like, if my question is, do we have a training for how to structure my signature talk in a way that I convert, whatever it is, the conversion, whatever it is, the call to action? Do we have a signature talk training?
We have a signature talk template. Yeah, we have a signature talk template handout. So that would be the first one. And then we are going to do trainings on that throughout the year as well.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, but go search for the signature talk template. That'll be a first step for you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Great. Thank you. And okay, I'm just going to go in order of the hands raised. So Gertrude was next.
Hi, Megan.
I'll unmute you. Hi. Hi, Gertrude.
My question is about funnels. I was wondering, okay, I am not the Kim Kardashian type person who wants to be on video, or at least I'm not feeling very comfortable doing it. And maybe the same thing for live webinars and things like that. And so I was wondering, if we're talking about funnels, if you have any suggestions that for me or for other more introverted type of people, what will be a good way to build up the funnel without over asking myself and, you know, wearing myself out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can also speak from personal experience, as I'm also an introvert. And what I found is online marketing is way easier because it's just you and a computer camera. And that's the benefit of it, that you're often, other than something like this, where I'm interacting with all of you, but I've grown into so much more comfort with that. But when I was first doing just, you know, a Facebook Live, I would just think about what is the message that I want to share to that one person that I'm having a conversation with, because that's always what we want to be doing anyway, is having that one-on-one conversation. So how can you be authentically you? And it's not about putting on a show or being anything other than who you are, but showing up as yourself. That's what clients are going to be magnetized to. So having some video pieces is going to be helpful, so that people can feel you, your personality, your way of being. And then, of course, other avenues or aspects of a funnel can be just the opt-in gifts. And we know what works best for opt-in gifts are when they're 3 to 4 minutes read for someone. So if it takes someone more than 3 to 4 minutes to read your opt-in gift, we're going to recommend you come up with something that's shorter. Because people's attention span and what they're willing to really look at from you when they don't know you yet, they're not sure about it, what they want is just a first little taster. And so that's what I would recommend for you, Gertrude, as a step one, is to come up with something like that, that can be just the easy opt-in of, you know, you create your opt-in page, inviting people to join. That can be an image. It doesn't have to be you at all. We've shown that what actually people want is to feel like they're stepping into it. So it can be more of a faceless image of someone like looking towards, you know, like arms raised, looking out towards the skyline kind of images for things like going after your goals, or You know, if someone's talking about healthy eating, like, again, it's like someone maybe making something that's not showing their face. So for all of you who don't really want to show your face, you don't want to be the face of what's happening. You don't have to. We know that that kind of marketing really works well to just say opt in here for the free gift. So
yeah, I do have a free gift already.
Right.
That's not really the problem, but when I want to launch my group program, I feel that I need more than just a free gift, right? I need something
Right.
like
so
a
when
step.
so when you do your next step trainings with people, what you're inviting people into then might be a webinar.
Right.
And you could be speaking in the webinar, but showing slides primarily.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's another avenue for those of you who feel more comfortable with slides and being able to speak to that and share with people that way. They're still hearing you and your voice, but it's less of that interaction. And people are going to be interacting with you in a group program. And they will ultimately, people want to buy you and your energy, even though it's not you, like you're selling your program, you're selling your offering. But the difference of like why it works to have so many different people doing, you know, such similar things, like could be, you know, hundreds of business coaches, but why choose Women Rocking Business? Why choose Sage? It's for an energy. It's for like the values, what she stands for, who we are as a company, what's here that's special. And so thinking about that, Gertrude, for you, how can you share more of your values, what you stand for, who you are, in a way that your ideal clients are going to be magnetized to you? So it's not true, like you said, that it's not going to be about being like the next Kim Kardashian. That's not your style. What is that style that you can bring through?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Good question. I'm sure lots of people are facing that same thing as we're pushing your edges more to become more visible. And this is one of the biggest questions that we always get from clients of like, well, I don't really have a social media presence, or I'm not really that kind of person that wants to be seen. Well, what is it that you're really standing for that's bigger than your fear of being seen? Like, what's worth it to you? Because we all have this thing, which is honestly like our ego. And we think it's not. Like, we think it's the reverse side. Like, oh, I'm really humble and I'm really shy. But it's your ego that gets in the way. Your ego of wanting to like only be seen by the people you want to see you, or be seen in a certain light, or be loved by everyone, and all the different flavors. It's going to be different for each of us, what comes up when we really look underneath what that is. And the only thing I've found that works across the board for everyone is to get outside of yourself and look to what matters more than this. What matters more than my fear or my concerns about how I'm seen. And that's the only way it's going to feel worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, so diving into that piece for you, and then you'll be ready to make a video about that piece. Like that can be the first step.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see your videos.
This is already a big stretch for me, asking a question in a group like this.
Good. Well, this is a great way to start. This is a great way. Exactly. Yeah. So good. This is a great way to start. Thanks for raising your hand.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you. All right, Haley, you're next in line.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
So I feel like I'm doing things not backwards. I know there's no like direct way, but as you know, I'm leading a retreat this October. And you guys have talked about just sort of promoting one big thing at one time. So I think my question is around like, how can I best, like, what would be a good strategy for leveraging online funnels to fill this retreat? And what's maybe kind of a simple, like, but effective way that I can do that?
Yes. So filling a retreat in the sense that you're doing it, because just for everyone who doesn't know, she's bringing people on a retreat to Tuscany. And so it's a paid retreat. And yeah, you've got interest already. I see the faces lighting up. And this is what's going to be essential, is looking at it like that's your program. So it's the same way for those of you who want to fill something like this. It's not a free live event, it's a paid event, but what's going to be happening there? What are the breakthroughs that people are going to experience? What's unique about that experience that doesn't just make it a trip? Like, that's great to be able to talk about the vacation element, but what are they going to experience about that that makes it so valuable for them?
Yeah.
So you would use the same funnel pieces, like having free gift opt-ins, having speaking engagements, where then you're leading this first piece. I know one of the things that you work on is supporting entrepreneurs who are struggling with anxiety and depression, right? And moving through that and breaking through that. And so if you're doing a talk related to that, related to like coming back to yourself after you've given so much to your clients and not feeling fulfilled, and you give a talk, and then in the talk you seed the retreat and you talk about how, you know, often one of the best ways to shift perspectives is to get out of your normal daily rhythms, to go on retreat, to have a totally radically different experience, to unplug from the rest of your life, give to just you, prioritize yourself. And that's why you are taking a small group of women to Tuscany this fall. And so you could talk about it in that way, and then you go on with teaching and giving them value in the retreat. And then at the end, when you make your offer for a strategy session, then when you get on the strategy session with them, that can be the option that you present. It's like, here's the offer to join us on this retreat. And I know you only have, I think it was 8 spots you were wanting?
Yeah, I have 8 to 10 more.
8 to 10. Okay. So it's a really intimate gathering. And this is something that I think that is great to start with. For any of you who are thinking about doing retreats, this is good to start with a small number, that you're not trying to like, I need to commit to 30 people and bringing with me, because you're like, oh, 8 to 10. And then you use, just like you saw, that if you have speaking engagements, you could get 8 to 10 people in a group program. So how could those 8 to 10 people be on retreat with you? I might even consider adding in some group program element where, leading up to the retreat, for the few months prior, you're having some group calls. So those people who are going on the retreat also get to feel each other, know each other. I've led many retreats myself, and I found this to be very effective, to have people connecting beforehand, just like all of you are connecting and seeing each other and hearing about what you are all doing before you come to the July retreat. And then the November retreat in Hawaii, like, it's a whole different feeling in the room than a bunch of strangers just arriving. So thinking about that, how you can use what you're learning here to integrate that in, and it doesn't create that much more time for you, but it's a lot bigger value. And so it creates that add-on value. It's like, maybe you're meeting, you know, you have 2 75-minute calls a month, and you're teaching them something and then having some Q&A and connection time on those calls. That's going to be a great way for you to add value to the retreat.
Yeah, I love that idea. I was thinking about that before, so I'm glad that you're reiterating that that's a good way to go. And just sort of my follow-up question to that, because the other part of it is that I did create a like 4 to 6 month one-on-one program. I'm deciding between 4 to 6 months right now. One-on-one program that I haven't yet had that 6 to 8 people go through. So like, I've tried and tested this method other than on myself. So I'm wondering, would it make sense to, in those discovery sessions, to first have the offering be my retreat? And if that's not what they're looking for, maybe my one-on-one program can be like the secondary option. So I'm not necessarily like full on plugging away for these next few months at 2 different things, but also not letting my one-on-one program go entirely.
Yeah, 100%. So you can always have that backup plan offering.
Okay.
That you're not marketing out in the front, but you can say, yeah, I do have a few spots in my one-on-one private work, and this is what that would look like.
Okay.
And you could bring that in as a next step. The reason we don't want you marketing two things at once is because then people get split in their attention of which is it that I should buy, and then they often decide nothing because they get into overwhelm. And the thing you really need to fill right now is the retreat, because that's what you paid, what you're paying for. I know the deposits down for retreats and all kinds of responsibilities there, that just focusing your energy on that until it's full and then shifting towards one-on-one or group work.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome. Great questions. I love how everybody's questions can lead into others, what everybody else needs. And Robin, your hand has been raised for a while. I'm just going down the list. So if you're thinking like, oh, now I have a question, make sure you're raising your hand on the actual little hand raise button at the bottom. Okay. Robin, are you ready? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Hey, Megan, thanks for all the great info. So helpful to hear again and again and again.
You're welcome.
It's awesome. So, so we just finished our 6th Facebook challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing one a month, one every month. They're really successful. We've grown our group. I think we've more than quadrupled the size of our group now. It's growing well. I love how you say to really nurture the leads you have.
Yeah.
I think that's so important, and it's so easy to like grab that next woman who's coming in, but it's really important to love on those who come in first. And so, so doing a lot of hormone breakthrough sessions, that's my discovery session name. And a lot of the women just aren't able to afford, my program for whatever reason. And I'm wondering about a mid-range program. So I have I have a really low end thing that some of them come in through the 5-element system. And then I've got my high-end program. And I'm wondering, I know that you guys did like a Facebook challenge and sold it into a 3-month, $1,500 program. And I'm wondering what you think about that. And if that would be, I can identify certain women who might really be a great fit for that. Like they really want to do my one-on-one, but they just can't do it financially. And I wonder if I reach back out to them and say, okay, we've created a 3-month, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so 2 things, and this is just for everybody who might be having those similar kind of questions. The first thing to consider is what stage of business are you in terms of, 2 things. Being able to handle more clients coming in a larger group like that. Like if you're working with private clients or a small group program and you've got that handled, do you have enough support to be able to handle a larger group with all of their potentially technical questions, administration questions, client care, essentially support that they might need?
So we have a big enough team to handle that. And
great.
I've done so many programs like that. That's not an issue. Kind of more the question is, am I diluting, my bigger program, or my thought is that I can structure it in such a way that eventually those women will come on, my bigger program.
And that's the second piece. So the first piece, is just for everybody to make sure they have that you've got, you can handle the flow of clients. The next piece is you want to be at a place financially in your business or your life where you don't need the income from the group that you're talking about. Like you don't need it. If you put your attention on marketing that, you'd still be flowing fine with the private clients and any other offerings, because that shows your business is at a place where you're ready to add something in. So for all of you who are thinking, oh yeah, I don't have any money coming in, I should diversify, I should do what Robin's doing. So I just want to clarify that piece. So for you, Robin, I think this is going to be a good time for you to add something else in. You've got a lot of flow and you've got leads that are just not saying yes to that offering, but they want what you have and they're leaning in. And so creating it in terms of spiral marketing so that the 90-day program, and then have it be the, part of the spiral where the next phase would be still private work with you potentially, or another group program, so that it's not just a matter of they come in for that one thing and then they're done. Because what we find from events that change lives is people will come in and then many of them, I can't remember the numbers, but I think I've heard like 40 or 50% end up continuing on to either Entrepreneur Leadership Academy or Leverage or some other offering along the way. And so that's amazing to be able to have something that leads to a next thing, but just not so much if you're putting all the work into that and then they can't go anywhere after it. So,
Right. And that's a critical piece to figure out, because I'm just not sure where they would go after that.
Yeah. So that's a piece for you to tune in on. You can also work that through in a coaching session with your coach and really map out what could be that next spot in your funnel. I would say for you, having something to offer them that's in that kind of a range of like $9.97 to $14.97 could be a great spot. And what's the price point you've been offering them right now that they're saying no to?
It's it's $4,500 plus it ends up being like $6,500 for 6 months.
Okay, so $6,500. So if you offer them something for $1,500, that's a huge difference. And you've just got to make sure that it's answering their core challenges and their the urgent needs.
Yeah, my concern about that is it's still going to be $500 a month, which is what they've already said no to, right? So I'm not sure it would work.
So one of the things we do with events that change lives is we have a 6-month pay plan.
Okay, I love that. Perfect. Okay,
so it's higher. Yeah, it's a little higher rate because you're stretching the payments out after the program is already completed. There is always that risk for payments that people could cancel or drop off, and you have more payment issue problems. I'm just going to be upfront about that when you stretch a payment plan for after a program. But sometimes it can be a great avenue for people to say yes that aren't finding the financial resources or finding their way to it without that option.
Yeah, I get kind of excited because I think, as I'm thinking about it, I think there are a lot of women we could invite to this, that it would be such a great fit for them. They'd still get me, and they'd still get a nice program, but they wouldn't have, it wouldn't be so stressful. Because, one of my issues is I can't take on people who are really stressed about money, or I won't get them well.
Yeah. And, one thing you can even do if you want to stretch out the payments, and this is for any of you who are thinking about that kind of an offering where you feel like you've got 3 months of content, how could you stretch it out so that you could offer a Q&A call once a month for 6 months and you're still supporting them, and then you're stretching the content out, but it doesn't actually feel like more work for you. You might have done it in a condensed way in a 90-day period, and you're offering it in a way that they could do it if they wanted to take fast action and like complete in 90 days. That could be possible, but you're going to be there to support them throughout that journey.
I'd love that. So nice. Great. Okay, I have a lot more questions, but I know you have to move on.
Okay, well, you can raise your hand again and we'll come back around. I'm going to get through everybody that's got their hands up so far, and then we'll start to repeat.
Thank you, Megan.
Okay. Thanks, Robin. We've got lots of hands now. Stacy, you're next. I'm going to unmute you. Stacy Ellen.
Hi. Hi, Coach.
Happy to see you here.
Yeah, thank you. So you've been seeing my posts on the wall, and I appreciate you talking and speaking into that today about the speaking. Yes. So I have some more questions along those lines.
Great.
And you know, and I'm willing, I'm open to switch around what I've been doing if that, you know, makes most sense here. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's just where I am. Like, I'm not sure which way to go in my questions around, you know, going into these different networking groups, meetups, associations where, you know, I've created my little bundled package and I've been selling it. Mm-hmm. And now I don't always do great in selling. I mean, sometimes I get 4 people, sometimes I only get 1 person. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that doesn't feel good either when that happens. And then there's been other times where I did switch it and I said, okay, I'm just going to do a session, switched my whole sheet, just did the free breakthrough session, I called it. And, you know, it was the same amount of people. So I didn't get more people that signed. I've only tried it twice your way. Mm-hmm. I only got a couple people that way. And then I also found that the people that don't pay money, they don't always show up to the call. Mm-hmm. So that was the other half of this going, okay, well, that's frustrating. Mm-hmm. If you're not, you know, then why would I not charge them up front anyway? So I've been in this, you know, I just want to find something that works because I'm a speaker. I've been speaking 5 years. I love to speak. That's how I've been, you know, that's how I've made my money so far. And I don't know, it might be my offer that needs work. I'm going to go back and look at that sheet again on how you guys lay it out. I've tried, you know, the Lisa Sasevich style, I've tried other people's styles. Nothing has resonated to where I get like 10 people at a session before. You know, I haven't had that many. So yeah, that's where that's where I am with things. I'm not sure which way to go in this. Yeah. I have an association I'm speaking to in 2 weeks. So I want to, you know, something that will flip this, you know, and move which way as you know, I want to launch a 6-month program, 2 months, and then an event by November. So there you go. I got it all taken. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, for you, Stacy, because you've already been speaking for so long, you've got experience with this. We definitely want to look at the offer aspect of what's happening potentially during the offer, how your offer is being made to make sure that it's engaging people and it's really connecting the dots for them between what they're coming into the talk for, what they're wanting to get out of it, and it's really matching up with their urgent needs. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I hear from what you're offering is if you offer a breakthrough session, you definitely want to be specific about what the session is for. So you might have done that, but even if you
go in 3 different things we're going to discuss. Right. I even talk about 2 different success stories after I position that of what happens after just 45 minutes in a call with me. So I go into that whole.
Perfect. Okay. And then
I talk about the event. You know, it's like a whole bundle where you get the call, you get the event, you get a couple of ebooks I've created, you get a training from me. And it's, you know, $297.
Yeah. And so that's for your paid offer. 1, because you get the training, and $297, and you're positioning it as a regular price being much higher.
Oh yeah. It's like normally it's like 2,100 something. I don't remember.
Okay, great. And so that's essential for sure to position that way if you're making a paid offer when you're going into a group like that. And you can, you know, what you're talking about, Stacy, from what I understand from your Facebook post, is you're going into groups that are familiar with offers. You know, people are kind of used to that. And if you are speaking on people's stages where this is part of what's normally happening, then yes, you can totally be making paid offers for low price offers like that. And the advantage of doing the discovery session piece is getting people on the phone and then making them a much bigger offer as the next step. And so it's not going to be advantageous to you if you end up selling the same thing. But what is advantageous is if you get on the phone with someone and maybe, you know, so you get 1 or 2 people at the event that end up jumping into a program with you, but then they're jumping in for something that's $5,000 or $10,000, then that's going to be a really great pay for a speaking engagement. So for all of you starting to think of in terms of getting paid for a speaking engagement, often looks like getting someone to enroll in a larger package. And that's the way we teach getting paid to speak. So I know that's different than some places where the focus is on getting paid to speak from the sales you make in the room. on those lower price points. But
they do both. You can do both.
You can do both, but we just recommend doing one offer for the engagement that you're at.
Of course. I mean,
right.
Yeah. That's how I position it. But then, I don't know. I mean, I've also spoken, like I spoke this year on this stage where you couldn't make an offer. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I just took them through an exercise when I was up there. It was literally like 15, 20 minutes. And I did do the strategy. I just offered a breakthrough session. Mm-hmm. And then I did have 5 people run to the back. So, I mean, it's possible.
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's flipping it on the head here. Because, I mean, San Diego has so many coaches and, you know, people that are selling into all these groups. They're used to it. So, I don't know. I just haven't figured out what. Yeah. Like, amazing amount of people either way, but maybe that comes when I host my own events, because that's the thing, you know.
That's what I was going to say, is that's when we see the big results, is really when you're the host, when it is yours. And I know you're planning on doing your own event and you've already got that in the works. And all the clients that we've had go through hosting their own speaking engagements and then moving towards having their own live event, that's where the big results have come in, of the six-figure type of results. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen those happening in the other talks. However, if you're doing a series of talks, you have other speaking engagements, you're getting exposed to all these amazing different audiences, environments, and they can be a great place for you to be marketing your tickets to your event.
Yeah, that's been a part of the package.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so you could definitely offer that package of the training, the $297, but sometimes it can even feel too high for people to do something like that. Even the seat deposit is an ongoing conversation for people. Like, pay a $97 seat deposit. You're going to get it back at the door. People still aren't sure.
Do you ever do a $97, like when you're offering the discovery session? Like if I were to go in a group that's used to you selling to them, do you ever offer the $97 seat deposit for them to just to show up on the call, and then they get it back when they come to your discovery session? Have you tried that? Because that's what I did that one time, and I didn't get as many people that way, but I don't know, maybe there's a way to do it differently.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the thing for each of you. We would say what we recommend as the number one way is offer a free discovery session and describe what that session is, what people are going to get out of it. Then you get them into that session. You're having a conversation with them that's really geared towards what do they personally need as their next step. And then you can offer accordingly what that is.
But do you always see them show? That's where I've run into people not showing up.
They don't always show up. No, they don't always show up. But it is a matter of then keeping the engagement. So reaching out with an email, reminding them that their session is coming. And then still, of course, there's going to be some no-shows. We do see some coaches doing the paid discovery session. Usually they are pretty established and people want to talk to them. Like it's a thing of, it's more of that celebrity factor. Like it works for coaches who are like, normally my team does these sessions. I'm not normally available, and people know that that's true. It's not just something that they're saying. And then they could do a paid session to have an opportunity to speak with them. And then they're letting them know that that amount can go towards one of our programs. Mm-hmm. So it's usually at that level that someone's already gotten established to the point that they're not usually as accessible. So in the beginning of, I know you're not in the beginning of business, but in the beginning of like trying this method out of offering the sessions, what we see works is having the discovery sessions, then offering the higher ticketed programs as the next step, because then it's really worth it for half an hour of your time and you've got somebody enrolling in, say, 5,000 or up. That would be the first place I would guide you to start. And what you can do,
even though they'll say people always want us to sign up for their discovery sessions because we just know that that's how they get us in more. I mean, I've had people say that to me. I've had people say, you know, I don't need a coach right now, so I'm not going to sign up for your free session. You know, like, I don't know. I've heard it all because I've been in for a long time. So I don't know. That's where I just get real confused.
Yeah, so if someone was saying that to me, I would just say, yeah, I'm glad you know that you don't need support, but I'm curious why you came tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
So putting it back on them, someone's no is just an opportunity for you to then say, oh, so what is it you're looking for? Like if you're not wanting a coach right now, what brought you here tonight? Engaging them in a conversation that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, people will say, like, when they're used to hearing about discovery sessions, they might say, oh yeah, I know, that's just how you get me in. Well, what results are you really looking for? Because it's true, I help people to find X, Y, and Z, or to get X, Y, and Z. And, there wouldn't be any point in signing up for a session if you're not wanting that. But if you are, let's talk. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to waste your time either in talking to people.
So for this association in 2 weeks, what do you suggest I do?
Well, because you're moving towards your live event, I think that offering a ticket to your live event would be the best thing as a next step. And then you want to talk about what are the takeaways they're going to get at the event.
Do they get a free session and a free ticket? No, not on anything.
Yeah, you could just offer directly to the event and not do a session. And you're just talking about what they're going to get. But I want to
do a session because I actually want to fill the group program here within 2 months. So that's my main thing, is to fill that program.
Okay, so if you're not wanting to have people join in on the event first, then you could just talk about doing, because the tricky thing is, similar to what Haley was saying, having a retreat, but also a group program and looking at how to fill it, when there's that mixed message for people of, like, which is it that they're supposed to do? If you're wanting people to be in a group program, then you'd be offering a discovery session as the next step. And you could offer with that they get a free ticket to the live event when they book the session. But, or after your session, you could also have that as an incentive for showing up, that for after we have your session, you'll be gifted a free ticket to the event. But the challenge is, then the event is a lead-in to your program.
The next level program, I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, because right now the program, well, the event was just if you sign, if you buy this bundle now and you get a ticket to the program, or a ticket to the event, a free ticket to the event,
This is why the spiral is going to be really important for you to work out. Like,
all right, ladies, let's take it a little bit. Somebody.
Yeah. So the spiral is important to see, because if you're saying you're going to have an event that offers to the next level of your program, you're not going to be able to offer that out to people in the public. It's going to be for people who are currently clients to be able to take. Mm-hmm. And that's fine, but it's a different kind of event. It's more of a fulfillment event for clients, and then you're offering to invite them into the next level. So for you, if you want to focus on filling the program, then it would be a blend of speaking engagements, online, like Facebook Live talks, webinars, posts on social media, using that all directed towards filling a group program first. And then you could have a client retreat. And at the client retreat or event, then you can make an offer for a next level, a next tier to those people.
But I mean, couldn't you do what Sage did? So she had both in there, right? You could still have your ELA and your leverage. You could do the people who are best fit for one of each, right?
If you're offering a second tier that people don't have to be with you in your first tier. Yes. Yeah. Like the live event. So if they don't have to have done your first level course with you,
right?
But they it's just a matter of like the stage that they're at for their lives and their businesses, then yes, you could have a combination kind of event.
That's my goal.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like your goal first, though, is to fill the first round of the group program in the next 2 months. So for the speaking engagement that's coming up in a couple of weeks, I would say offering the discovery session, being really clear about what it is they're going to get. And so that's something you could post also on the Facebook page and just tag me so that we can look at what is that they're getting when you make your offer for the session.
Okay.
All right.
Well, free session. No more self.
for this one. And yeah, just because that's the next step that you want. You could also offer an even lower price, like in the 97 or 197 range of here, you'll get this and a session with me, and just talking about that. But the main thing that you want them to get is to get on the phone with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gift them the event. If they sign up for the 6-month program, then they also get tickets to the event.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Stacy.
I'm gonna try this.
All right. Awesome. All right. I'm going to move on to Imani. And I am seeing there's even more hands up. So I'm going to try to move at a faster pace, and we're going to go till noon. I've got to stop at noon. I know that's even overtime. So for some of you, I just want to speak to this now before we start, Imani, that if you don't get your question answered today, we do have the all access Q&A call with me tomorrow. And for some of you who might just not have your question ready yet, or you have new questions since the first round. So the all access Q&A call is tomorrow. And let me just double check here the timing. I think it is 2 p.m. Pacific time, and that is in your forum. So you'll be able to jump on that, and it's just all Q&A time. So join us for that one if you have more questions too. So Imani, I'm gonna unmute you.
Hey, Megan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So I was wondering, I know I'm not launching or starting my program until October, and I'm working with my coach on that, but I'm doing already, putting fillers to talk to people about the program, right? But it's far out. So I don't want people just sitting, obviously. So when they sign up, the next step for me is always to have like a goal session with them, like a marriage goal session, so that I know even if they're in a group situation, I'll know what it is they want. I always want to know what my client wants, what they envision for themselves, so that it's that little bit of tailoring and specificity that can come into a group program.
Yeah.
But even if they, let's say they signed up now and they had their marriage goal session in the next couple of weeks, I don't want them just sitting there. So I'm trying to see, like, what do you kind of offer people to continue to engage them until a launch, those early bird people?
So if you're wanting to get them engaged, you're saying they're early bird in the sense that they've registered or they will register early?
Right, because I'm like, if they're like, yes, that program sounds good, and I'm like, great, here's the link, the content.
Yeah, so you want to get a deposit. That's the first thing. You want to get a deposit. You want to get the first step for people, and it's great to be looking at, keep them engaged along the way. So you can have that jumpstart session, the goal session with them. That's perfect.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is, if you've got a few of those and people getting started early, you could open up an online, like a Facebook group just for them, just for those paid members, and then start adding in some, like a weekly little 5-minute video, or here's your weekly, like, love amplifier to practice, and love to hear your comments below. Looking forward to getting started. But you're giving them something so they can get early access to being part of that group.
Okay, so the Facebook group kind of community aspect, just like it is in here, was already going to be an aspect of the group. So just instead of like waiting to opening it early and putting some early bird stuff in there.
Exactly.
Now, what's your take on doing, because I know I'm trying to be succinct and like move for folk, on like doing bonuses? Because I know with Sage, I was able to like dig in with some of the bonuses before we started. I have things, but to be honest, right now they're geared more towards women, and this group is open to couples. So, ideally I'm looking to get men in there as well. So, I mean, I can quickly revamp some things, or I can ask some people I know that have, this is a secondary question to that. I have some people that have adjacent and complementary coaching skills, and I can ask them for something that I can put in there that would be helpful, but I don't really know how to navigate that. I don't know what to offer them.
Yeah, so that's great to do once people are already in and you've got them kind of imprinting on you as the leader.
Okay.
I just would be cautious about doing that before you really get started, because they could start having that shiny penny syndrome.
That's true.
Of like, oh, that looks really good. Maybe I should go over here and do this. And usually what we, just as we've encouraged all of you to do, is focus all your attention right here and now.
Yeah.
And use these tools first, because people can easily say, yeah, I bought this, but I really want to do this instead. And they're going to go not be fully engaged. So I would bring in special guest speakers and others like that have skills in those specific areas. It's a great idea to collaborate with later on in the program.
Okay.
Yeah, just let it be you anchoring it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about you? What do you think about putting bonuses in their form that are from me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bonuses from you are great. You can do bonuses, and the bonuses in your offer can also be things with other people that you bring in. It's just, don't do it right at the beginning. Let people have those a little later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they can still be positioned as bonus trainings, for instance. If you're going to have expert bonus trainings with certain people, just let that be a little later down the line.
What do you offer these? Do you offer them like a piece of the pie? Like, what do you offer them?
You mean in the bonus training?
Yeah, because if it's someone else coming in and putting, you know what I mean? I've never done that. So like,
they would be there because they're looking for clients.
Yeah.
So they would offer their thing. And just like we were talking about with Stacy, in the sense of coming into a live talk, if they're doing a training in your group that's virtual, then they could offer a discovery session, or they could offer a free gift to whatever you allow them to. Like if you want to let them do a discovery session, if it's later on in the program, or if it's a free gift, just to get them on their list so that they're aware of other things that the person is offering.
Okay. I mean, I get that. I think that can be a little complicated for them, just even if it's in the middle of the program, just because like, oh, you know what I mean? But I have someone that I'm probably going to do a collaboration with who's a parent coach. And so it'd be mutually beneficial. If she's in there, then we'll have an offering later that is a combined offer. So I want people to know her. She's awesome. Get her stuff.
Yeah. So you just don't want too many of those people.
Right. Like, 5 people you can,
strategic.
Okay.
Yeah, strategic.
Okay, and I'll brainstorm what those bonuses can be in private sessions. So thank you for that, Megan.
Awesome. You are welcome. All right, I'm going to move forward to Lisa Stamper, and we're just going to try to roll through in a few minutes for each of you with these ones, get as many as possible. And then we'll do Carolyn next. So Carolyn, be ready for next. Okay, Lisa.
Hi, thank you so much. Hi. Okay, so my question is with doing Facebook Live. So I have my niche. I'm working with like depleted women who are burnt out and all the things, right? And they want to get their mojo back, their energy and their vitality. And you really helped me yesterday, so thank you. But for my Facebook Lives, I'm struggling because I'm also like a psychic medium and people go crazy for that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, because what I also teach in my course, like once they're in, is how to connect to their intuition, their own inner guidance. So like, what do I do?
Yeah. So what to focus on as your lead in. And so it is a matter of choosing what that entryway point is for you. So if you want to focus on, we've had clients have amazing success with focusing on having talks and lead magnets that are focused on accessing their guides, connecting to their guides, doing more of the more like shamanic, spiritual, like more of the woo end of the spectrum. We know that when people really claim it and go all in that direction, then people are magnetized. They want to hear about that, but it's got to be a full claiming.
Because my thing is like, yes, I love it and I travel and I do it and people go crazy for it. But it's like a part of me also is super practical, right? So I do think that I'm here to like show and teach about energy. So kind of like bringing it all back. So then what would I talk about in my Facebook Live and in my talks? I'm thinking like, do I talk about energy and vitality, that everything is energy, and lead in from there? Because really, when I started, like I didn't know anything about anything, and that is where I started. And that's what I kept on hearing, is to like bring it, like dial it back, because just because I know all these things now doesn't mean that I knew them then. And I was super confused, and I didn't know what grounding was, and I didn't know what, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it really is about what the stage is that someone's at that you're wanting to draw them to you. So
I think a lot of them are like newbie, spiritual, beginner people. So they're like interested, but like also kind of like freaked out by it. I also have another question, if you don't mind, and it's about, why do some people use Zoom for Facebook Lives? Is it so they can record it?
It's a mixture, yeah. So you can record it so that you could have people opt in on an email list and then join you on the Zoom, join you over on Zoom. So that would be the other thing, to be able to do Q&A actually like this with clients or potential clients, as well as bring on a co-host.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
that's
can I record Facebook Live on Facebook Live?
It would just be on Facebook Live. It records it in the sense of it's there for you to.
So like I could essentially like download it and then repurpose it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
You can
Thank
download them.
Okay. So, so that's where I'm stuck, because I'm like, I know that I'll draw a huge audience with like answering questions and everything, but like that's not really the, like I would rather have people be enrolling in my program.
And so just remind me again, so your program, what you're offering them is?
So it's called Your Most Extraordinary Life. And what it does is it helps people reconnect to their alignment. It's essentially like a lifestyle, like eating well and eating clean, high vibe foods. Like it's things so that they can connect into their own wisdom. And I also take people through forgiveness exercises. It's like cleaning out their shit. Sorry for my language, but it's essentially what it is.
Okay. I'm just wanting to look back at.
And then I also like teach them, like at the end, like once we've like busted through their blocks and they stepped into their power, because there's like a few weeks where we do that, and like done the forgiveness exercise, where they get the real results from. Then I teach about manifesting and co-creating and all that fun stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, so one of the things that I saw yesterday, just because I saw your, opt-in page you posted the link on the leverage page, is I didn't see necessarily the kind of woman represented in the image that you chose, or the feeling, the energy of your marketing that represents what you're wanting to attract.
Okay, because that's also what I was wondering, because I keep hearing intuitively that it like to have it as corporate people, so then they can just understand how things really actually work.
Then I want to speak to that this is for, if it's living your best life, is it for men and women?
I've only had women take it.
Okay.
12 of them, and if like they love
yeah, so if you talk about it as like for corporate women in living their most extraordinary life and learning how to create what they want through manifestation, through
See, and I was told by Sage, like when I told her this stuff, she's like, I will get more of an attraction from saying energy and vitality. Like,
yeah, vitality. So, but when we hear energy and vitality, it's going to attract people that want to work with you in terms of like their health and more concrete, like I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling exhausted, I need support with these things. So if that's what you're going to do as the foundation.
So I also do that as well, because when they learn these things, they'll feel like $1 million.
Yeah. So it's a choice of which is the doorway in that you want to guide people through. because I hear the also and like the and I do this and I do this, which is so many of you can identify with that, having multiple ways that you're working with people. And so it's a matter of choosing which doorway do you want them to walk through. So if you want to use the energy and vitality doorway and you want to speak to corporate women, and then you're speaking directly to them feeling exhausted, feeling overwhelmed, overworked, tired, they're like life looks good on paper but not in reality, like those kind of things, that kind of language, then you're going to attract them for the next step. And if you're wanting to go on more of the woo spectrum, then it's a different kind of images that you would use, a different language. And so it's not about one being right or wrong. It's really like, who is that you're wanting to bring in? So if you're really wanting to work with the corporate women and attract them, then you're speaking directly to their concerns.
Right.
Often.
Because that is one thing, because I did my potential client interviews, and they all said that like that was the basis of everything, was the exhaustion, overwhelm, overwork, overdone, like no time to themselves. So I'm really teaching them self-care. Like it's like this whole system that brings them into alignment, so then they can live their best life and feel their best. They can look their best, they can feel their best, they can you know, have time to do things that they love. Do you think that image represents that for corporate?
No. It's not. It looks too it's too stock image, like false, honestly. Like it's like old corporate, like corporate 80s or something is what I would say. Is like what
it made me giggle. That's what I liked it.
Yeah. But someone's like, oh, if they're frustrated, it's more like it has a mixed message of what's going on for her energetically. So if someone's feeling overwhelmed, it might be like they're sitting in front of their screen and they've got their head in their hands, and it's more of that like, oh God, like here I am again looking at emails, like that. She looks kind of excited at the same, like it's a mixed message of energy. And so when you only have one photo to get it across,
because it's like, yes, if I do these things, then I can feel like that. It's like that was the result picture.
Yeah. And when they're opting in for something, they're more like in that pain of what they're feeling. When they're online, especially, they're feeling more of that pain. And then for a result picture, they'd probably be hoping for something more than that, in the sense of like they're probably seeing themselves on vacation or something that's like not still in their suit and at work.
Right. Okay.
So there's that mix of the messages. They're wanting the freedom from that.
Right. Okay. So then what would I talk about in Facebook Lives?
Yeah. So the Facebook Lives are going to be focused on their, like how to feel vitality, even more vitality at the end of your workday than when you started, for instance. Like something like that could be one topic.
So like not do like the psychic readings and that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't, for if you're going to go in this avenue of the corporate women and yeah. So the readings can be something that you talk about as being part of a program.
Yeah.
To have their customized path, their customized plan. But what we've also seen from people who do readings online is they get a lot of people who are interested, but they're not necessarily the clients who are willing to pay, because they're already feeling like they're getting the reading and they're getting the knowledge right there. And you don't want to give that away. It can be something that's of high value in your program.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Honey.
Yes. All right. Carolyn, I said we'd go to you next, and then we're going to go to Marna. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Carolyn. Not letting me.
How about now?
There we go. It wasn't letting me. Okay, we got you.
Hi.
Hi.
So thank you for allowing this to happen. And I'm grateful for all the other questions that the sisters asked, because I'm like, yeah, that applies to me as well. So
awesome.
That's great. first of all, I'm going to do what Audrey did. I'm going to I'm going to stop the video because I'm like a squirrel. I can get distracted if you don't mind. And, you know, it takes me a while to get something. I know I had asked you this question, but I'm still hung up on this and I can't seem to get past it. So I have this program that I'm offering, right? It's a 10-week program, which I'm changing it to a year program. And currently it's a certain price and I don't know like what to price it at to go to a 12-month program, and then what to price it for new clients that are coming in, right? What to price it for existing clients, what to price it for clients that went to the program like about a year, 2 years ago, and what about beta clients that I had, you know? Oh, and is this going to be considered a beta test period where I'm offering them, okay, this is the first time I'm doing a group program, so I'm beta testing it, and because of that, or should I not even say it, because of that, you're getting a great price. Come come next year, price may be different because it's not beta anymore, right? And it's the truth. Honestly, it's the truth because it is a beta program. I have not done group programs, so you know, I'm being selective as to who I want in the program because I need it to be safe for me as well. You know, I don't want to take on somebody I'm not familiar with or whose energy I'm not in complete alignment with. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my main question is what to price it at and what would the breakdown be per month? Should I do it monthly pricing? Should I do like a like if you pay at once, this is a price?
Right. So there's always, for anything that you're offering, we always recommend having your full pay price as the best deal. Like that's the best price point for people. And then you have another price that's done in installments. And so that's going to be a bigger investment for people overall, but it makes it easy for them to be able to jump in to start with.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Then as far as having all these different prices for people who are like beta or have done it in the past or doing it this time around, I recommend just focusing on what's the price for people who are new that are coming in. Also, the people who may have done it in the past, they haven't ever done it like this because a year-long program and a 10-week program is radically different. So I wouldn't be creating special pricing for people if you want to offer them something like they can have the full pay price, but have it in payments over months or doing something generous like that. That could be enough just to solve it right there. But those are your two price point pieces. Does that make sense? Oh, I think you're muted again. What happened? I'm gonna unmute or try to. No, I think you need to. There we go.
How about now?
Yes. So does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense. If you don't mind, if you can repeat that. So what are you saying? Offer them a full price, but do what?
So let's say if you had a $5,000 program that was broken out into monthly payments that ended up making it, say, 12 payments of $500. So it ended up being a $6,000 program. If you were having people who had done the 10-week program before, or they'd been clients in the past and you want to offer them a special pricing, you could simply say, you know, we're going to give you the full pay price, which is $1,000 off, but you can still pay it in monthly payments.
Okay, got it.
So it doesn't confuse your whole system so much as like you've got two options. You can do monthly payments of, you know, what would that be? In this case, for the new people, it would be $500 a month with that example. And then for the other people, you would just break it out over 12 months. So 5,000 divided by 12.
So you would not change necessarily the price of the program. Right now, it's undervalued. You know, I'm offering it for $4,000, and I feel like, oh my gosh, that's like it's undervalued basically. Should I not increase it dramatically? Should I increase it? How is
Well,
that?
so you're saying it's 4,000 right now for your 10-week version, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when you're offering it over a year, you have to look at what else are you going to be offering in terms of how much more of your time is being added in for group calls, for any one-on-one work that you're doing. And so for any of you trying to figure out price points, you want to look at what does this break down to for the time that you're putting in. There is no magic like right price or wrong price, but you've got to feel in alignment for what you're offering.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. So if I offer it like the first call, because it's so intimate and it's so personal, and that's the time that I can dig in and personalize the program for the woman. So that would be the one-on-one. So should I offer additional one-on-ones if I don't want to kill myself? You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I would be getting $4,000. That's a 10-week program, right? But I'm stretching it to 12 months. So I have to get a lot more clients. And at the same time, I have to do it in a way that it's serving me as well without burning all ends.
Right. But you're not going to have, you're going to be working in a group format. So you don't, it's not that you're adding in one-on-one time.
True that. So would you say, so I'll do the first call, that's one-on-one. And then from then on, does this sound okay? Like to do 3 group calls a month for until the, the year, and then maybe offer an event. It just depends. It feels right. To do an event?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to offer an event for them, a fulfillment event for them or a retreat, then you'd want to make it part of the offer because it's an attractive piece to people. Like they want to know, and they want to know kind of when it is and where it is and all those things. So you want to have that piece dialed in as you make your offer. So that would be the first aspect. And then I would say, as 3 calls a month, just like we have that model, that works really well. That's what we recommend, like 2 or 3 meetings a month, but not meeting every single week, because this gives you the freedom to be able to have a week every month where you're not available, at least a week a month.
Right.
Not available to lead a call. So that gives you more freedom. And then I think you could definitely bump up the price. So making it more like 5,000 or 6,000 easily. And it's going to end up creating more income for you, but also be easier because you're having it's so leveraged because everybody is together in the group and they have a longer time to spread out their payments. So it's easier all around for you and for them.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. And then the question I would have is, how would you work it with, I have a couple of amazing clients that I want them to continue on selfishly because I love their energy. They love working with me as well. And they don't have a pot to pee in. Literally, they don't, right? And so I think I spoke with you about this, and I want to offer them like an internship where I have a need and I think they could fulfill a need. With one of them for sure. I'm already doing it, and it's amazing. Instead of paying an assistant, she's doing a few hours of work, and right now I offered her the 11th session for free, and she's like, oh my God, I'll do it for free for you. I'm happy to help you in any way. And so it's like a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Is that kosher? Is that something?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have people in your world who they've got the skill set to do something that you're really wanting, and you're wanting to start building a team out, having somebody do that work for you and then they get a trade to be in your program is a great way to do it, because also you're really, again, leveraging your time. I would just focus on offering them the group program and not one-on-one time.
Yes, of course. Totally. Exactly. This was the one-on-one time because I have not transitioned into a group yet.
Yeah. But for going forward, perfect.
Okay. And then one last thing is,
I can't do more questions right now, Carolyn, because I've got to keep rolling through. We've got 10 more minutes and I've got like
I'll call
8
you
hands
tomorrow.
up. Okay. So you can be on tomorrow. And I know that thank you. And I know it's so hard to cut off. Marna, you were next. I'm unmuting you.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, you can hear me?
Hi, I can hear you. Yes.
Great, awesome. I am via phone today. Yeah, thanks everybody for your awesome questions. I learned a lot listening, so yay. And what's going on for me is I feel like I've put a lot of these pieces in place. I've been doing speaking stuff and like people just aren't coming. And I've been doing Facebook Live. People are not signing up for my discovery session. And so I'm just kind of feeling like stuck in the water. Like, what am I doing wrong? What can I change? Why isn't this working?
Yeah, and I know I've seen some of your posts about that and commented on the Facebook page, and it sounds like you, I mean, I know you are doing the online components, you're doing the speaking engagements, but you're just not having the like reaction from attendance, at least. So it's not even a matter of the offer. It sounds like the main problem is getting butts and seats, right?
Yeah, butts and seats is a big problem. And then, even, when people are there, I've done some live ones where people were like interested in the call and said yes, and then I followed up with them and they were like not interested anymore in the call, and I was just like, oh, that hurts. Yeah, so there's something about, I think the next time I've got a lot of people there, I want to have them sign up for their call right there. Yes. And so that's one piece I'm going to put in place, but actually getting people to my things is a factor. I've been calling it 3 secrets to spice up your intimacy. I was thinking about 3 keys to rekindle your passion or something like that, but ladies in the group kind of gave me the feedback. They're like, no, I really like 3 secrets to spice up your intimacy. So yeah, I'm sticking with that for now. But getting butts and seats, and I feel like I tried everything this time. This last one, I threw everything in it. I did Facebook ads. I did lots of, I wrote messages. I did everything short of putting an ad in the newspaper, which I was a little bit resistant still to do, but and one person came, and it's just she got served, which is great. And she's grateful, which is great. And I know what I'm up to works. I just had a VIP session. I'm celebrating my first VIP session with a couple on Saturday, and they've been they're like, yeah, we haven't had good sex in 8 years. And I'm like, okay, let's do a session. And they were so happy and so grateful. So I know what I'm up to works, and it feels so constipated to not be able to share with more people.
Yes. Yeah. I know how frustrating that is. And one of the things I would say, Marna, is I hear you testing it in the group, which is great because there's women here that could be totally in your ideal market, and finding out what a good title is. And another aspect is as far as what's drawing people in, I would try changing, using a few different titles too, kind of split testing in that way, so that your next talk, you're trying a different one. Honestly, one thing I do talks every month, and I do a different title every time. They often have totally overlapping content. They always have the same, some of the same stories and client things, and you're not redoing a whole talk, but every time I do one, I use a different title to see what's really resonating with people. So sometimes I will show up and I'll have one person, and I'm like, okay, I did all the same things, but okay, let's try a different title. And then I've got 15 people at the last one. After a month prior, it was 1.
Yeah.
So I just want to say this is happening across the board. It's not just something you're doing, it's just happening to you, but it's, it often will be just that piece of what could resonate with someone. And then also getting other people to invite, or again, the JV partnership aspect of that can help too, or speaking at a place that has an audience that they can send out to.
Will you brainstorm with me a couple ideas for either titles or for the discovery session? Because I've done Facebook Live, or ideas for Facebook Live content, because Like
Yeah.
I've done Facebook Lives and offered like a, you know, sensuality breakthrough call, and like, you know, very like nobody really seems to want that. So like, I'm curious what your thoughts are about like, what do people want? Like, what do women want?
Well, what are you hearing from the people, for instance, like the VIP, and then I know you just had someone hire you for one-on-one, right? What are you hearing from them? Because I'm not your ideal client. So for me, saying like getting into that mind frame, it's like thinking like, what is it that those people who are hiring you, what are they saying when they put down the money? Like, what are they wanting?
Yeah. And if anybody else has ideas, I just want you to know I'm not able to see the chat box right now. So if you could send it to me on Facebook, that would be great.
Yeah, we don't. We don't have the chat box enabled. So if you want to post, you can share your ideas. Just send it as either a private message to Marna, or you can post it on the leverage page and tag her.
Thank you. Thank you. So they've been saying they want to feel juicy. They want to feel happy. They want to feel connected with their partner. They want to feel like they want to feel good, like when they interact with their partner. None of that sounds very juicy.
Well, are you framing, it sounds like you're having talks right now, like spice up your intimacy. Is it geared towards having couples come together?
It's geared toward having the woman come. It's geared toward sort of empowering the woman. I could do some with couples coming together. That's sort of different than the ways that I've been doing
that's
it.
just one thought I have, because one of the reasons I feel like, the way I've been doing my new talks and my switch over to this new niche is having like date night themes. And so then people are coming together and wanting to experience like exercises that bring more connection and more juiciness, but it's happening in the moment with them. So they get a lived experience, and then there's buy-in from both people rather than just one.
Oh, nice. That sounds kind of fun. Like, is that like on a weekend night, or how are you doing
I've
that?
been doing them on weeknights. I've been doing them. I have one tonight on, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. And, you know, like I said, we've had like one person, like one couple to like 8 couples. And so it varies based on the topics and what we're doing. And what I'm finding is like, it's a mixture. Sometimes we do more heavy things, like get to share about things that they, you know, learn how to have more conscious communication and dialogue of, you know, like what's unsaid that is actually getting in the way of your intimacy, to more juicy, like coming more into connection through touch and like and appreciation. So we see, I haven't seen one have better results than the other. It's been kind of the same for both of those. Like some people come and they want to work on problems, and some people come and they want to have fun.
Yeah. How are you marketing it? Do you have a meetup?
All the ways that are in the butts and seats, like literally, meetup and Eventbrite and Facebook group, Facebook posts, sharing on my podcast.
And I ask, is it free or paid?
It's free.
Free. Oh, cool. And so that would be, that would be a great thing to do, I think, for like a VIP session in terms of the spiral marketing and the funnel and so forth. But my 6-month program right now is geared for women. So it'd just be like geared to the woman in the couple if she wanted to jump into the group program. And otherwise I'm available for like privates with the couple, or how
you could absolutely do that, because there's also, I mean, often it helps to have a buy-in. So if a woman is coming with a man and he's like, yeah, this is great for you, like he likes what he sees and how she's, you know, responding and connecting what's happening for them, then he's going to be more interested in potentially spending what could be their joint money on her doing something.
Okay.
Rather than like, no, you want to do another thing. Like if they're already not connected, it's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about the language of like blissful intimacy. I don't know if that's hot or not, but like I could do like blissful intimacy date night things.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it's an experiment to see where does your energy go up and where does the energy go up for your potential clients. And for all of you thinking about those things, like if you're saying like, oh, this is like, I feel like I'm hitting my head against a wall, this isn't working. Well, then like getting curious about, well, how else could I do it? What are people asking for? So it always goes back to that question of, if people are already paying you, what are they paying you for and what really excites them? And how could you bring that into the entry point more?
Okay, so I could keep trying some stuff for women, like, hey, want to feel more juicy, and then trying some stuff for actually like both people in the couple and say, hey, come have a like connective, date night thing.
Yes.
That's fun.
Try that out.
All
Well,
right.
I hear your energy go up about it, so that's the important thing. The starting place.
Thank you, Megan.
Yeah,
All
you're
right,
welcome, Marna.
Thanks.
All right. So I know there's tons more hands and we're at noon and I see you, and we also we need to complete this one, and I have another couple announcements. So one thing, we have our session tomorrow and it's an open Q&A all access session, again, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And the details about that are in your forum. And so I'm gonna take a photo of the lineup here of hands so that I have it for tomorrow. You can raise your hand again if you can join us and come on there. If you can't join us, you can definitely post your question on the Facebook page, but I'd love to be able to dive in more deeply with you. So I'll answer your questions first tomorrow on the call, so I promise that. The other aspect that I want to just point your attention to is on the Leverage page on Facebook. I'm going to go over there now. I posted something partway through the call. It's loading. Okay. So I posted this, and yeah, there we go. I'm going to mark it as an announcement so that it goes up towards the top of the page. I already see a couple people posting. That's awesome. So the post says Launch Plan Challenge. Post your launch plan below. So this is the final announcement. This month, we're doing a launch plan challenge. And you can go and look under the Games tab in the members site and see all the details. And this starts today. So we've opened up the challenge today, June 11th, and it goes until July 16th. And that's when we're going to be announcing the winners for the Q&A call. So actually July 15th would be that completion, making sure you get everything in. But on July 16th, we're going to be announcing winners on the Q&A call. And so I just want to go to the handout quickly here. Going over there so that you can see it. Okay, so the Launch Plan Challenge handout, what you're going to be looking for sharing is this handout. So focusing on launching your program. It might be launching a group program, it might be focused on launching your one-on-one session. So it can be either one, but it gives you the whole outline here. So the name of the group program is what we need, the number of clients you're wanting to have, the investment level. So if you're not doing a group program, that name can be the name of your coaching package or your offering for one-on-one clients. So name, number of clients, what the investment looks like for them, and what are your 5 or more marketing funnels that you're going to be using to fill that program, and when does it start? So then based on when it starts, you need to have your monthly focus. What is that focus that you're going to be doing each month? And this is really going to help you line up what you need to do each month to focus on growing that program. So if you have a live event, that's going to be a focus for 1 month. If you're doing a group Facebook challenge or a Facebook training series, that can be a focus for 1 month. And we know that those things have a lot of other marketing components that you're going to be doing, but we want to just have one thing a month that you're focusing on to fill the program, and then a word of intention for the project. So we've got examples there for you. And the important thing is when you're posting it in the Facebook group, you can post it right under the thread that I started. So for right now, going and posting on that thread, and ultimately you could post, if you post it off the thread, like, weeks from now, for instance, use the hashtag launch challenge. So hashtag launch challenge, that's how we're going to find it on the Facebook group. And this is for you to have fun with. We're going to give you really cool prizes. You're going to get to win extra coaching sessions to support you with your launch, and other juicy things that that Sage is going to come up with and announce, but we always give, always have opportunities for you to win coaching sessions. So that's a primary piece. And I'm gonna come back.
Can you repeat where this file is, please, Megan?
Yes, yeah, thanks for asking. It's in the Games tab in your forum. So when you log in to your kind of your forum and you see login through the Leverage tab, your Leverage course, and at the top it says Home, Welcome, Calendar, Classes, Events, Library, Edutainment, FAQ, Coaching, and then Games is the very final tab. So that is going to be in that tab. I'm going there right now to make sure all is as it says. Yes, it is there. Okay, so it's right there. It talks about when it starts and ends, using the hashtag, and then if you click the Leverage Launch Challenge handout details, it's going to show you exactly what I just brought up on the screen. So we already have a few of you have posted, which is awesome. You're getting it in there right now. Kate, Duffy, Audrey, you've posted your plans. I love that. And this isn't about getting it perfect. This is about getting, like, what do you think? What are you wanting to create? For those of you who did post and you didn't get in the monthly actions, I would just invite you to go back in and just do an edit, because you can just go back to that post you made, edit it, and add in your monthly actions. So we get to see that too, now that you have the full steps there. And we'll get you some coaching on this. So this is another way, if you want to get some coaching on your launch plan now, get it in early. There will be bonus points for getting it in early here. And I'll be available, like I said, tomorrow on the Q&A call, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And I can definitely answer your specific questions and go over some of the launch plan details with you. This is also a great piece to bring to your coaching session. So bringing to your coach and getting to have support right there in your session with your launch plan to help you keep moving forward. So for right now, we're gonna just wind up this call. And also just want to make sure that if you haven't reviewed the handouts in this month yet, in this month's training, make sure you look at the Discovery Session email offer, the group program email campaign. These are great. We're always getting questions about what am I supposed to write in my emails. These templates are going to help you. And then tips to generate discovery sessions. So this is great for all of you who are feeling like you really need to get some cash flow coming in, you want to have more discovery sessions. Tips to generate discovery sessions is a really hot handout. So those are a few things for you to take a look at today, and I look forward to getting to support you more on tomorrow's call. All right, ladies, we're going to unmute and take a deep breath. I encourage you to open your arms up towards the sky in this moment of transition. You've been so present, so focused. Yeah, make any sounds that your body wants to make. Some like, ah. Yes. And go forward and take your next big action that's going to attract your ideal clients. Your clients are waiting for you. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.